All right, let's dive right in. When you look at technology today, it feels like we're being pulled in two totally different directions at the same time. On one hand, there's this unbelievable promise of a better future. And on the other, this growing, nagging sense of danger. So that really is the big question we're tackling, isn't it? Is all this stuff, all this innovation, building a better, safer world for us? Or are we accidentally creating something a lot more fragile, a lot more dangerous? The wild part is, the answer seems to be, yeah, both. Let's get into it. Okay, so first, let's talk about the dream. And right now, that dream is all about AI. We're not just talking about, slightly smarter apps on your phone. The vision here is huge. It's about fundamentally boosting what we humans are even capable of doing. I mean, just listen to the ambition in this quote from GitHub CEO Thomas Dohmke. He's not talking about a little productivity boost. He's talking about a full-on gold rush that lets 1 billion people become software creators. 1 billion. Just let that number sink in for a second. 1 billion. 1,000 million people. That's the number we're talking about here. It's kind of hard to even wrap your head around. The big idea is that AI is going to become like our creative partner, our peer programmer, and that's going to make building software something almost anyone can do. And look, this isn't just some fantasy. The pieces are being put in place as we speak. We're seeing powerful new models, like the upcoming GPT-5, getting baked right into the tools developers use. Companies are literally creating guides on how to treat an AI like a new human teammate. This isn't some far-off future. This is happening right now. And this is what that future can actually do. It's not just about building another app. This is the real world stuff. And AI was able to do something humans just couldn't. It combed through tons and tons of drone footage and found a hiker who'd been missing in the Alps for almost a year. It's just a stunning reminder of the incredible good this tech is capable of. But, and there's always a but, isn't there? For every incredible dream, there's this shadow lurking. And that brings us to the other side of the coin, the great insecurity. All this amazing tech is being built on a foundation that, well, is starting to show some really serious cracks. This is the fundamental conflict of our modern world. On the one hand, yeah, everything's getting smarter, more connected, more integrated. But on the other hand, the very foundation of all of it is riddled with these deep, stubborn security holes. The more we connect everything, the more open to attack we become. And these are not just some theoretical risks. We're talking about major flaws in Dell laptops that are so deep in the hardware, they can survive a complete wipe of the operating system. We're seeing Lenovo webcams that can be turned into a secret keyboard to type malicious commands. And it's not just the hardware, it's the platforms we use every day, from Instagram to Google's own customer support, getting hit. This is where you hear that terrifying term, 0 day. All it means is that the bad guys find a security hole and start using it before the good guys even know it exists. There's no patch, no fix. A perfect recent example is an attack on WinRAR, a program used by millions, where just opening a file could let an attacker plant malware. It's a scary, constant race. And if you think this is all just about losing data or passwords, think again. This gets physical. Check out this quote from a Wired report. Hackers took over a smart home's AI and basically turned it into a poltergeist, flicking lights, opening blinds, turning on appliances at random. This isn't just digital chaos. This is chaos in your actual living room. So, you can see how this tension isn't just about code and servers anymore. It's spilling out and directly changing our real lives. How we work, how we spend money, even our culture itself. Hey, remember that gold rush for 1 billion developers we just talked about? Well, for a lot of people already in the industry, the picture looks really different. This quote from TechCrunch says it all. For some, the computer science dream job has become a nightmare of insane competition and burnout. And yet, at the exact same time, you get a story like this. A food delivery startup in Nigeria called Cowdeck, which is already profitable, just raised $9 million. It's the perfect example of the paradox, right? While a dream job might be souring in one part of the world, tech is creating massive, life-changing opportunities somewhere else. It's not one single story. And speaking of how fast things change, get ready for a shot of pure nostalgia. AOL is finally officially killing its dial-up service. For an entire generation of us, that screeching, buzzing, clicking sound, that was the sound of the internet. And now it's going silent. Definitely the end of an era. This promise versus peril thing also pops up in some really weird places. Take these two examples. You have the US military using slot machines on bases to raise money for fun stuff for the troops, but that also creates real addiction problems. Or a political proposal to give every American a health tracker. Sounds great for public health, maybe, but the privacy and data questions are just massive. Good intentions, thorny results. So this all brings us to the very act of building. We're creating the future, but how are we doing it? We have these incredible, powerful tools, but do we have the integrity to go along with them? Let's start with a story of pure human genius. Linus Torvalds, the guy behind Linux, had a huge problem. Managing all the code changes from other programmers was painfully slow. But then he had this key insight. The real problem wasn't adding the patches. It was merging all the different versions together. So he built Git, a tool that was so ridiculously good at merging that it changed everything. It's the foundation of how most software gets built today. Just brilliant problem solving. But then you have the dark side of that. The entire system of science and progress is built on trust, on being honest and building on the work of others. There's this disturbing rise in academic fraud, where researchers are basically cheating the system, faking their credentials by taking credit for work they didn't do. That kind of thing doesn't just hurt one person. It attacks the very trust that innovation is built on. And you can see this erosion of integrity all over the place. It's happening in academia, sure, but it's also fueling a massive black market for video game cheats. And we're even seeing it in how shaky our trust is in the new AI models. It shows you that maybe the biggest threat to innovation isn't a lack of good ideas. It's the breakdown of the trust we need to make them a reality. So we end up right back where we started. The tools are here. They're unbelievably powerful. They can be used for incredible good or for incredible harm. But here's the thing. The tools themselves don't care. They don't have intentions. We do. So the question isn't really what the tech will do to us. The question is, what are we going to do with it? What kind of world are we actually going to build? That's the question for all of us.